Battery hack. Most modern smartphones are supposed to have a great battery life, but it seems to me like they're always dying when you need them the most. Thankfully, there's one super simple way you can make the most out of your remaining juice. If, like most people, you carry your smartphone around in your pocket, then part of the problem might be that your pocket is too warm. You see, cell phone batteries do actually last a bit longer if they're kept cool. The average 98.6 F body heat of a human being when transmitted through a cloth pocket to a cell phone inside is enough to speed up chemical processes inside the phone's battery. As a result, it runs down at a faster rate. The simplest way to keep your phone cooler is to carry it inside your bag or on a belt clip instead. And if you ever find yourself away from home without a charger, you can switch off your phone and pop it in the refrigerator to slow the battery losing charge. I don't recommend using the freezer though. Surprising salmon. Salmon is one of the most popular seafood in the world. But if you've ever prepared the fish yourself, then you'll have probably run into the issue of that white funky stuff that seems to appear when you cook it. Most people assume it's just fat. But the white gunk you see oozing from your dinner is actually a simple protein called albumin. Whether boiled, baked, fried or barbecued, the substance will still appear. Alba lives in fish in liquid form and appears when the muscle fibers are heated and they contract, pushing out the white-colored protein. Although it's totally safe to eat, some people find it unsightly to try and remove albumin. You can either block the cooked fish with a paper towel or brine it before cooking to brine your fish. Just give it a quick soak in a blend of sea salt and water, which should help to relax and dissolve the muscle fibers and minimize the appearance of albumin. Giggling rodents. Rats aren't the most conventionally cute animals, but their reputation is disgusting. Vermin seems a little harsh, especially when you learn that they're tickle. A study conducted in 2016 was able to pinpoint the tickle center of the mammalian brain, showing for the first time that stimulating neurons in that particular region can elicit a series of ultrasonic squeaks that are too high to be heard by human ears. Ishii, a neuroscientist at the Humboldt University of Berlin, noted that the rats not only return over and over again to the place where they were tickled, but that tickling their bellies also triggers the neurotransmitter dopamine in the key reward-related brain circuits in the rodents. If that wasn't enough to prove that they love being tickled, rats also show a classic display of positive emotion found in many species such as dogs, foxes and even human children, called joy jumps. True to their name, this involves leaping into the air with both legs together. Talk about a cuteness overload. Disappearing socks during a clothes wash. Socks seem to creep into the yawning abysses of the laundry drum, never to be seen again. But where do they really go? There are actually a couple of explanations for their mysterious disappearance. If you have a top loader machine, a sock could sneak into the crevice between the inner and outer drums, then get snagged in the water drain or pump as a result of overloading the appliance. It's also possible for a sock to get stuck underneath the spinning agitator for front-loading washers. Though a rogue sock might get launched just underneath the rubber water seal known as the gasket. And if you pull the part back, you could find a goldmine of lost socks. Even if socks do make it to the dry cycle, they can be easily victimized by static electricity and get stuck to the inside of pant legs or other materials during the folding process in shorts. No, there isn't a sock-eating monster in your washing machine. Waterfall wonders. Niagara Falls is pretty big, but it's far from the biggest waterfall known to man. Some claim Angel Falls in Venezuela is the world's tallest, with a staggering height of 3,212 feet and a plunge of 2,648 feet. But that doesn't even come close to the truth. The Denmark strain is more than 3 times the height of Angel Falls, and it can be found in the ocean. That's right. This mammoth waterfall located near the southern tip of Greenland begins 2,000 feet under the ocean's surface and plunges to a depth of 10,000 feet. A nearly 2-mile drop. What's more, the Denmark Strait carries an estimated 123 million cubic feet of water per second. That's equivalent to almost 2,000 Niagara Falls at peak flow. But how can a waterfall happen underwater? Simply put, cold water is denser than warm water in the Denmark Strait. Southward flowing frigid water from the Nordic seas meets warmer water from the Eye-Minger Sea. The cold, dense water quickly sinks below the warmer water and flows over the huge drop into the ocean floor, creating a downward flow that goes completely undetected without the aid of scientific instruments. An iPhone secret. Apple's newest set of iPhones come with a whole array of new features, not to mention a hefty price tag, but there's one thing that sets the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max models apart from their predecessors. In addition to the 3 superpowered cameras, look a little closer at the back of the phone and you'll notice an inconspicuous black dot in the bottom right corner. It's completely flat to the touch and pretty easy to miss on first glance. But what is it? It's officially known as a LiDAR scanner, which stands for light detection and ranging. This is a radar-related method for optical distance and speed measurement, which uses tiny laser beams that can't be perceived by the human eye. A LiDAR scanner determines the distance between itself and an object by monitoring how long it takes a laser to bounce back by sending hundreds of thousands of light pulses. Every second, LiDAR scanners can accurately work out distance and object sizes over small distances. The data can then be used to construct 3D models of any environment. So whether you're an architect drawing up building plans, an archaeologist creating real-time 3D maps, or a gamer who loves augmented reality, this wanking new scanner could revolutionize the way we use our phones. Old-school sunglasses as we know them today were first invented sometime in 12th century China. The primitive frames were a crude slab of roughly shaped smoked quartz made to block out the sun. The darkened lenses were only available to the very rich. They weren't vision corrected and didn't offer protection against harmful UV rays, but they did help to hide emotions from others while talking. This was particularly handy for Chinese judges at the time, who routinely wore smoke-colored quartz lenses, which allowed them to conceal their true feelings and seem emotionally detached while questioning the accused. But centuries before 4 Chinese judges found a use for sunglasses, rudimentary snow goggles had been used by Inuit and Yup communities. These snow goggles would be made from driftwood, ivory, or bone with a slit cut into them and protected the eyes from sunlight reflecting off bright white snow. I guess they had permanent cinemascope vision, too. No fancy writing. There are plenty of bizarre laws across the United States of America, but one particular law in the city of Galesburg, Illinois, is a real sucker for cyclists. No fancy writing. For a definition of fancy writing, look no further than the Galesburg Code of Ordinances, which states that no rider of a bicycle shall remove both hands from the handlebars or feet from the pedals or practice any acrobatic or fancy riding on any street. Well, that rules out Galesburg from a cycling circus door. According to a Galesburg police officer, the bizarre law probably came about during a time of great concern about bicyclist safety when there were more crashes than usual. Thankfully, the law is seldom enforced with any punishment. So kids are free to take their hands off the handlebars without the fear of being thrown in jail. Life-saving foil seals. Ever wondered why pill bottles have protective foil seals beneath the lid? You might assume it's there to keep the pills airtight. But the real reason is far more morbid. On September 29, 1982, Mary Kellerman took a Tylenol for a cold. A few hours later, she was dead. That same day, Adam Janus died in exactly the same circumstances when his brother, sister-in-law visited and developed headaches. They took Tylenol from the same bottle and both perished within the next 2 days. In the days that followed, 3 more people suffered the same mysterious faint. By early October, investigators discovered that the pills the victims took were laced with cyanide. Over 31 million bottles of Tylenol were recalled, and a couple more deadly bottles were found on shelves in the Chicago. Someone had taken the bottles off the shelves, put cyanide into the pill capsules, and then placed them back. The criminal was never caught. But the following year, U.S. Congress published the Tylenol bill, making it a federal offense to tamper with consumer products. And in 1989 the FDA established federal guidelines for manufacturers to make all such products tamper-proof, which included protective foil seals, ancient apples. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what if that apple had been sitting around for a year? Sounds totally gross. But here's the catch. Most people have eaten a year-old apple at some point. Apples ripen during a very short period in the U.S., between August and September. So keeping them in stores for the rest of the year means they must be treated with chemicals and kept in cold storage in a warehouse setting. Apples usually sit for at least 9 to 12 months, with one investigation even finding that the average supermarket apple is 14 months old. But that's not all. Scrape a supermarket apple with a knife, and you'll notice something strange. The white substance you see is actually shellac or carbo wax, which is used to keep the apple fresh. Apples actually produce their own natural coating of wax. But some of that is washed away when growers wash the fruit to remove field dirt or any leaf litter. Applying an artificial coating of wax not only makes the apple look shiny and new, but helps to seal in the moisture, extending its life. But the coating can also act as an oxygen barrier, meaning the apple may look deceptively fresh but is actually soggy and tasteless inside. What's more, consuming the wax in large doses could be harmful to the colon and small intestine. So perhaps it's best to stick to just 1 apple a day from now on. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you want to titillate your trivia senses some more, why not lose yourself in the Be Amazed Fact Show next as always. Thanks for watching, guys.